Hello everyone, my name is Jesse McMinn, and today I am going to be playing a game called Might and Magic 6: The Mandate of Heaven. I basically decided I wanted to do Let's Plays for a while, but I never really got around to it. But I love playing games and I love talking about games, and when it comes to games that I like, I can talk a lot, so I thought I would give this horrifically old but amazingly awesome old RPG a try. And Might and Magic 6, it's one of my favorite games, but it is also unfortunately a game that I have never finished. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of start the series of videos, hopefully it won't be too horrifically terrible, and I'm going to try and beat Might and Magic 6 for the first time. And something I'm also going to do is try using a party of 4 sorcerers. This is essentially the 4 black mages challenge, but in the context of Might and Magic. So I'm just going to go ahead and start a new game up.
Having cheated death during the night of shooting stars, you find yourself as far from your village of Sweetwater as old Falagar's magic could take you.
Yeah, I'm not listening to the intro. If you guys really, really terribly want to see that intro, go ahead and YouTube it. I'm sure somebody's uploaded it by now. All right, so this is the party creation screen. Now, normally you would have this kind of nice split of like tank, archer, cleric, sorcerer, the nice little RPG split. But like I said, I'm going to go 4 sorcerers. That's how I roll. And I'm going to live on the wild side and see if I can make any kind of headway in the game with 4 damage dealing black mages. The sorcerer is the elemental caster. They can learn 4 types of magic: fire, earth, water, and air. So I'm going to have one character for each because that's wonderful. I'm going to keep the default faces and the default names because I'm so used to this lineup of characters that if I try changing their names, I'll actually just end up referring to them as their default names, so I'm just going to leave it as is. So let's just see here. Roderick, he looks kind of earthy to me. Alexis is going to be my air lady. Serena is going to be water, and Zoltan is going to be fire. All right, so now I basically get to choose their skills, their attributes. So as well as their normal magic, I'm going to give them all the ability to wear leather armor. Or maybe not. Maybe already second guessing, making mistakes. All right, you know what? Forget it. Armor's for wimps. You're going to learn how to repair items. Zoltan, you look pretty smart, so you're going to learn how to identify items. Serena is going to be my diplomat. Oh, no, no. Get rid of leather. I don't need that. And Alexis, she can learn staff, and so can Zoltan. All right, now I'm gonna nerf their luck because who needs luck in this world, right? I survive on skill alone. Actually, the reason why is there's actually a well early on in the game which gives you luck, but only up to a certain threshold. So it's actually a waste to put points into your luck attribute to start off with. Now, intellect is the dominant trait for sorcerers, so I'm just gonna pump that right up to the max. This is something that it's extremely unadvised, but this is how I roll. This is what I'm going to try and do. I'm also going to nerf the personalities of everyone who doesn't use personality. Personality and intellect is like the elemental casting attribute. Personality is the divine casting attribute. None of my characters are divine casters. I'm going to leave Serena's intact because she's going to have the diplomacy skill. And I don't actually know if personality affects the diplomacy skill, and it doesn't really let you know. But you know what? I might as well. I have more skill points than I need. I'll pump up their endurance a bit to make them a little less squishy. Try to even out their stats just a little bit. And I'll just give them all 1 extra point into speed. Alright, that looks pretty good. Let's get started. Bam! Right away. We are launched into the wide world of Might and Magic 6. Look at those HD graphics. Isn't it beautiful, folks? This game's hilarious. It's so old, but it's such a good game. So they start you off with a couple spell books right away based on which type of magic that you taught your characters, and you get these wimpy little daggers to start off with as well. Whoops. That's what you get for recording your video in a window. I actually just exited the screen, but you probably didn't even notice and I shouldn't have brought it up. So this is the letter. It's a quest item that kind of gives you a little bit of backstory, and I'm not going to bother and read it right now because we don't have time for that. Again, if you really want to read it, you can pause the video at the point that I brought that letter up and try to get a bigger sense of the plot. Basically, the plot at this point is that we don't really know what's going on, and our job is just to kill whatever unfortunate monsters tend to get themselves in our way. So right away, I'm just going to teach my guys their spells. You start off with a bunch of useless rings, which don't have any purpose, but I usually just sell them for money. It's a nice way of getting funds at the beginning of the game. I think that Serena, in addition to being my diplomat, is also going to be my merchant. She doesn't have a merchant skill right now, but that's something I'm eventually going to invest in. Oh, look, it's a sparkling ring of luck. I could really use that +1 luck. Actually, what I really need is the 400 gold that ring is worth. So you also start off with a couple potions randomly, and you can actually mix potions by picking them up and right-clicking them, and you get more awesome potions with more awesome effects. And if you are awesome enough at mixing potions, you can actually get potions, black potions, which permanently boost your stats. You can only drink them once, but they're pretty awesome, and that's worth doing, but not right now. All right, so here I am in the world of Might and Magic. Right away, I can open my character's spell menus and set them quick spells so that I can spam my enemies with various elemental magics. All of the sorcerers start off knowing fire magic, but I taught them all their auxiliary elements. There's so many things to do at the beginning of this game. There's so many little nuances that if you know, if you've played the game before, you can kind of use all these little exploits to give yourself a boost right from the offset. As you can see, did I just say offset? Onset is what I meant to say there. Those lucky horseshoes that you find close to the stables will actually give you skill points, which allow your characters to boost their skills. And also, if I go and examine this well, refreshing. Huh, must be the wrong well. Wells almost always have some kind of beneficial effect. If you drink from this one, it restores your health. I will, I will find that well. I'm not sure which one it is. Let's see, what else is there to do right away? Well, here's something I can do. Pro tip, if you click on the left wall of the bank, you will find a scroll of fly. And if you are awesome with that scroll of fly, hello, you can take advantage of this little Easter egg they put in there. This building is the Buccaneers' lair, which I'm eventually going to learn some skills at. But if you actually wait, I know what I'm doing, folks. First, what I'm going to do is go to the bank and give them my money because I anticipate death after exploiting this Easter egg, and you lose all your money upon death. So now, I use this scroll of fly, and then I save my game because I'm a coward. Very original file names. And then I will actually fly up here and click on this little section of the building. And if my reflexes are quick enough, ugh, I run in here, touch this monument. Oh crap, Zoltan died. Dang it. What that does, it teleports you to an end game level that there's actually a shrine that boosts all of your stats permanently. Ooh, I think this is the well. Oops, I looked up by accident. Oh my gosh, this game's controls are so terrible because it's so old. And now the guard tower is shooting flames at me. I can look up, but no, no. What buttons do I press? Okay, there we go. Looking straight. Aha. See, this is the well that gives you luck. So I'm actually going to drink from this first. As you can see, I didn't exactly rehearse what I was going to do in this video, so I'm improvising best I can, but I tend to balk under pressure, so you're going to have to have sympathy. All right, here we go. Now we're going to try this again. There are dragons all around this shrine, and at this stage of the game, they will one-shot you. So you got to just run in, touch this monument as quickly as you can with all your characters. Bam. Perfect. And now I let the dragons kill me. I get this awesome cinematic with Dev, but his voice doesn't seem to be working. Because again, this is a terribly old game, and it wasn't really designed with Windows 7 in mind. So now Zoltan's staff is busted because the dragons jacked him up. But aha, Roderick can repair it because I wisely gave him the repair skill. Anyway, now all my characters' stats are boosted, and I have this nice beginning of the game advantage. The sweet smell of exploitation, isn't it wonderful? So now I get my gold back from the bank, and now I can set off on my real journey. First thing I'm going to do, stop at the inn, and this end over Portobello is actually the guy that I need to give that letter to, and he gives me 1,000 gold. And he actually gives me another letter, which I can take to the people at Castle Iron Fist, and they will give me even more money. I'm also going to rent a room to restore my characters to full not being burnt by dragonness. Save again, and right away I'm just going to make a little pilgrimage to Castle Iron Fist, which this is kind of the starting area, New Sorpagal. And if I follow this path to the west, ooh, and fight the goblins that are waiting to ambush me, I will make my way to Castle Iron Fist, and I will get some money to kind of start off my quest. I can buy some skills and some equipment for my characters. So here you see, this is the brilliant combat system of Might and Magic 6. It's actually real time. If you just kind of let it do its thing, the goblins will run at you and they'll slash at you, and you can shoot your magical madness at them, and it's all chaotic. But if you press the enter key, it goes into uh, turn based mode, where essentially the game pauses every time one of your characters is ready to perform an action, so you can more carefully choose what to do. Kind of in a Final Fantasy action time battle kind of way. So here I'm just laying into these goblins with my various elemental magics. And as you can see, they are scattering like things that scatter in the face of my onslaught. I loot their corpses and I chase down the cowardly ones who tried to run away. There you go, my first victory. Ooh, there's just some crates sitting around with clubs lying in them. Not sure who put them there or for what purpose, but I'm going to take them. And there's nothing they can do about it. So he knows how to use a staff, so that's actually a decent weapon. Now I'm going to see if this club is better than the dagger. And as you can see, it clearly is. So now this crazy kind of Amazonian looking lady will run at my foes, just swinging away, swinging with her club. Got a bronze shield that none of my squishy sorcerers can use, hand axe, likewise, another potion bottle. This is one of those weird games where when you drink a potion, you don't keep the bottle. If you mix potions, you get to keep the bottles, but if you just drink them, the bottle disappears. So apparently your characters just munch on them, much like Klungo in Banjo Kazooie. References, references. All right, so I traveled to Castle Iron Fist. Here I am. All being said, it looks much the same. And here I am encountered by some other foes, the followers of Ba. If you follow the game's story, Ba is this cult that all these people follow, and to the point that I've played through the game, I'm not actually sure whether they're supposed to be evil or not. That Andover Portobello dude who you give the letter to, he is actually a follower of Ba, but he's nice to you. The other followers of Ba, not so much. They look a little politically incorrect, what with their turbans and beards, but once again, I'm going to lay into them. They're like flies before my assault. Eh, I don't know if you usually assault flies, but this is how I imagine it would go down if flies tried to fight sorcerers who knew magic. There's tons of these guys. If you go south from this path, there's just massive, massive mobs of these guys. I guess they're just kind of having like a cookout in the field, just kind of sitting around a campfire telling stories. And you can go and commit a mild genocide and destroy them all. But I'm going to go north into the village, town, city, whatever. This is Iron Fist. Isn't it lovely, folks? There's there's more followers of Ba and more lizard men off in this direction. Once again, I'm not sure why lizard men are just kind of standing in a giant field next to this huge city, but I choose not to question their motives. So I go up the winding trail into the city proper, pass by all the wonderfully rendered NPCs that are all wearing the same green and white dress, and I go to the castle. Regent Wilbur Humphrey, foremost paladin. Yes, please. Yes, indeed. The letter. Give me my money. 5,000 gold for doing nothing. Now, he actually also gives me another quest. I need to find the shield of Lord Kilburn, who's some kind of dude who I guess he got lost on his nightly duties and they don't know where he is. But all I care about right now is the money. This area is not really ridiculous, but it's a bit too high end for me at this level. So I'm gonna head back to New Sorpigal and grind against some low level mobs. But first, what I'm going to do is go into this house. I'm going to join the Berserker's Fury, and I might as well get this quest too. The Dragoon stole the harp. I gotta get it back. Think of it as like WoW questing. Like, all right, let's see. I need to kill 10 bandits and get a harp. It's like kill 10 X and receive Y. Oh, the Berserker's Fury is not open. Apparently, Berserkers only Fury every once in a while. So I might as well go and rest at the inn and get some food while I'm at it. King's Crown. Give me some food, give me a room. All right. So the way that you learn skills in this game, you actually have to join a guild. Oh, for the love of Pete. I'm just waiting outside on their doorstep. Please. Aha, see, he can teach me how to use a bow, something that is quite useful even for sorcerers. So now that I'm all bowed up, I can go to the conveniently placed bow store and buy me some bows. Hmm. I don't have a whole lot of money, so I think I'm just going to buy some cheapy bows for now. Just something that can actually launch arrows in the vague direction of my enemies. Yes, bows are useful. Every character class can learn how to use bows, and they are useful for every character class because as soon as you run out of MP, sorcerers are fairly useless unless they have bows. Once again, the stables. Get me some horseshoes. This time they will go to Alexis and Roderick. I've played this game so many times in my misty past that I remember by heart the names of these four characters. I've long since given up trying to customize the party because I always come back to these four. Alright, and that is all I need Iron Fist for now. I apologize that this first video isn't a whole lot of interesting, it's more me just doing a bunch of obscure stuff that I know to do this because I've played the game before, but my ways are mysterious, let me just put it that way. So now I'm going to mosey on back to New Sorpigal, and hopefully we will actually get to see some human on goblin action. Alright, that's terrible, oh my. I'll walk through the orchard on my way back, grab all the apples. You need food to rest, you also needed to travel between areas. So it's always handy to have food on you. I'm going to visit some of these NPCs. Again, all the NPCs in this game are actually very useful. Every house you see in the world you can go into, and almost every single one has something useful. Either the NPC inside can let you master one of your skills, or they can let you join a guild, or they have a quest for you, or both. This guy has a quest. I must kill the Queen Spider in the abandoned Temple of Law. He can also let me join the Elemental Guild, which, considering I'm a party of 4 sorcerers, is pretty useful. I can also join the Guild of Self, which is the Cleric Guild, which I guess is completely useless for my purposes, but, you know, whatever. Blade's End, a guild that allows me to learn new weapon skills, and the Buccaneer's Lair, that's the one I'm interested in, because that's the one that teaches you utility skills, such as Merchant. And in a game, excuse me, in a game where everything costs you money and you never have enough money, Merchant is a very useful skill. So we've got Captain Hook here. It cracks me up thinking of like I think this is actually a guy, like a real guy that dressed up like Captain Hook and they took a picture of. I'm not sure. He could be computer rendered art, but whatever it is, it's pretty hilarious. So I'm going to teach you how to be all merchanty. I'm going to teach Alexis how to disarm traps, and he's already my identifier. He's already my repairer, so I think I'm good for now. Now I have one last stop to make before we go adventuring. That was supposed to be like adventuring, like a ridin or something in, but alliteration is difficult. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore, folks. I'm pretty sleep deprived right now. I was up till about 2:30 in the morning last night, so I'm not thinking too straight, but you know, that's what results in the best videos. So now I'm going to learn some nice low-level spells that are slightly less useless than the ones I have. Get some Firebolt action, maybe some Sparks action, some Deadly Swarm action. Alright, I think that'll do me for now. Let's see. Firebolt goes to Zoltan. Sparks goes to Alexis. Deadly Swarm goes to Roderick. All right, and now I am slightly less useless. Let me just equip those new ones. Sparks I'm not going to equip. Sparks is like a very short range. It's a nice spell for when you're in tight hallways and enemies are kind of bottlenecked. So here we have the Guild of the Self, which for some reason has goblins on the roof. And as you can see, I can just spam arrows at them by clicking. You never run out of arrows. As long as you have a bow on your back, you can just shoot arrows permanently. So you can see why bows are useful. I didn't even have to waste any MP. The goblins are now dead, and I can go and collect their corpses. And that battle was very interesting and very difficult for everyone involved. I'm struck by this horrible thought right now that I'm actually not recording video, but I don't want to check in the middle of the video, so I'll put it this way. If the video comes out and is actually released, I was recording it all along and I had nothing to worry about. So all of this useless stuff, I guess the leather armor isn't useless. I am eventually going to want to wear that. I can't remember who can teach you how to wear leather armor. I'm now hoping it wasn't the Berserker's Fury and I forgot, I missed my chance. I've got some maces that I can't use, a shield that I can't identify and I can't use it anyway. Wizards are pretty useless, folks, or I guess it's sorcerers, they're not wizards yet. Wizards will come later. As we go across this bridge, we are ambushed by goblins. Oh, whoops. Didn't cross the threshold. There we go. This is just something, again, I've played the beginning of this game. I've never beaten it, but I've played the beginning enough times to know all this kind of stuff. Make short work of them. Not even using any of my spells. That's how you know you're alpha. Sorcerers that can't even be arsed. Like, casting spells takes effort. I'm just gonna spam arrows. Now I'm going to employ my spellage. We've got some goblins. That blue guy up there is a goblin shaman, or shaman, I've never been sure which it is. And we've also got some mages. I'm not sure why the mages are all chummy with the goblins. I don't really know where their political stance is, but they're attacking me, so I'm gonna kill them all. No sympathy. That's what you get for being low-level mobs. And the shower has been dealt with. Weaklings, all of you. There's some treasure here. Let me just help myself to that. Apparently Zoltan is so good at identifying items that he doesn't know what boots and helmets are, so I think I'm going to have to pump up his identify skill one of these days. A spell scroll is completely useless, an axe that's completely useless. That is the abandoned temple, where inside I must find the Spider Queen, which I must kill. I don't think I'm going to enter that just yet. There's another area of this island, which is good for just some low-level target practice, and I think I'm going to head there first. Maybe once I've fought some more weaklings, that will be the end of this video, and we will continue next week or some other time. I'm not really sure which. This video series, well, I guess it's not a series yet. This video is kind of more an experiment just for me. I want to kind of dip my toe into the frigid waters of recording Let's Plays and stuff like that. My microphone is also absolutely horrendous. So the sound quality is not ever going to be very good. I'm going to do the best I can, but so who knows? I don't know how long this is going to last. In the meantime, it's kind of fun to shoot goblins with fireballs and swarms of insects, plagues of locusts, as it were. Some more treasure, some more useless treasure. These barrels will give you stat points. The color of the liquid of the barrel affects what stat you get. I don't really care. I'll just split them evenly across my characters. There's more mages. These mages, again, don't know why there's so many of them. Don't know why they all have such a vendetta against me. Don't know why they all wear the same clothes, just different colors. But the golden rule of video games, if you can kill it, do so. In fact, this game, for being an old game, has a lot of pretty impressive mechanics. For instance, when you're in town, you can actually attack the NPCs. and that will turn them all hostile to you, and your reputation will suffer, and then none of them will ever want to talk to you again. And then you have to go to the temple and donate tons of money to them before people will approach you. It's pretty hilarious. You can spend your life building up your reputation with these NPCs, but as soon as you murder one of them, I don't know why, they all just hate you. It's pretty unfair if you ask me. That's terrible. So look, there's just this massive congregation of mages. All of them must die. So I made one of these videos before, and it was okay, but I wasn't happy with a couple of aspects because it was my first recording attempt, and oh man, Zoltan is unconscious. Let's get out of here. Yeah, there were a couple issues. One of them that I noticed was that the game actually wasn't playing any music. As it turns out, because I bought this game from Good Old Games, the music in this game's original incarnation would actually play off of the CD, much like a real music CD. So when you buy the game digitally, the music doesn't work by default. You have to turn it into MP3s and then move some file systems around to actually just get the music working, which is a bit silly in my opinion, especially since Good Old Games easily could have done that for you. Um, but, you know, whatever. But there still is a problem with the music, which is it only plays once, it doesn't loop. So once it's played and then it's done, that's it. And the only way to get it to start again is by quitting the game and reloading it. Which I don't want to do that because that would break the immersion. So you can just listen to the sweet sounds of silence and fire arrows flying at my brain and me shooting cold and fire and swarms of locusts at my enemies in return. This party of four sorcerers is pretty squishy right from the get-go. See, look, election. I can speak, by the way. I've been speaking English for 2 decades now. I've gotten kind of good at it, but I still trip up on on very difficult words. Yeah, my characters go down very quickly, but they also do a decent amount of damage. Okay, things have gotten a little critical. Zoltan is the only one alive. Come on, Zoltan. I gotta duck and weave. Uh, just gotta get out of range. Gotta make it to the bridge. Alright, I'm just gonna rest on the outskirts of their camp. They don't mind, right? And then I plunge right back into the fray. I'm going to eliminate every last mage in this world. I hate mages. I don't know why. I feel like we should be buds. I guess there's a difference between sorcerers and mages. They hate each other, even though they use the same spells. Ooh, it's a blue mage. Yeah, a lot of RPGs use a plet swapped enemies to show different tiers of enemy, you know, like red, green, blue. At least this game does it in almost an official way, because every enemy has 3 palette swaps, um, and they're all called like variants on the same thing. Like these mages are called Apprentice Mage, Journeyman Mage, and Mage. So you kind of get used to it. It almost embraces the palette swaps instead of trying to hide them. Like what? No, this is totally a unique enemy. See, it's a saber-toothed panther instead of a sword-toothed wildcat. Like yeah, you're not fooling anyone. A lot of MMOs have that problem, and it's really quite infuriating. But you know, what can you do? Development is not easy, despite what some people think. Not like I would know. Get some food from their cook pot. Oh, and apparently there's a ring in their cook pot. Not sure what the deal is with that. I have a feeling that these chests are trapped. I don't think. Oh, Alexis can disarm, but the question is how well. Ah, apparently well enough. Well done, Alexis. You will be permitted to live for one more day. I got a trident. That's pretty cool. Serena doesn't have room for it anymore. Inventory management. And a staff with which none of my characters can use, what aren't already using them. Another tower shield that I can't use. Right, how about this one? Nice. Gold, some chainmail. Chainmail sorcerers can never learn how to use. Leather armor, which I will eventually want. A wooden shield, which I will eventually never want, ever. I believe there's some more crates, hidden in the brush. Money, money, money. Shield. Money, money, money. Dagger, ring. Don't need that, don't need that. A hammer and a club. Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to sell all my stuff. Alright! The mages have been successfully eliminated. Feels good. Genocide feels good, I must say. And as you can see, wow, I've actually gained 2 levels. I'm eligible to train to level 3. That's pretty awesome. I believe I will do that next video. I think I'm going to cut it off for now, guys. So, it was a lot of fun. Um, hopefully, hopefully I will continue this in some capacity. I'm uh I'm stoked. I'm kind of stoked to finally finish the game that I've probably been playing for over 10 years now, but never actually completed. So if there's another video, it'll probably be showing up sometime within the space of the next week. If not, I apologize, but honestly, nothing of great value will have been lost. Like I said, this is mostly just an experiment for me that maybe will end up on the internet if the end result is not too horrific. So, have a great day, and I will possibly see you next time. Bye.